We're back. Why, I don't know. It is Thursday, the 31st day of August, 2023. This is it, last day of the month. Whew. Flew right by. September 1st is tomorrow, Labor Day weekend. And then we all have to go back to work. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Very nice morning, gorgeous sunrise, still kind of going on, even though it's been up for about a half an hour. It is 61 degrees here in the big city. Brief little low pressure system's going to kind of through the area. This is a technical term that we use in meteorology, is what it's called. That means it's going to slide through here a little bit. A few clouds today, maybe a light raindrop. Looking pretty good for the weekend for the most part, although Monday, Labor Day proper, going to see things cool down a little bit, which is fine by me. It's going to start feeling like autumn here, even though we still have about 3 weeks left of summer officially. We have a lot of news to get to. Sports, high school football is almost upon us. In fact, they got games tonight. As a matter of fact, most of course, the games will be on Friday night. We will be at Lee Boffler Field at the Apple Bowl as we begin our fall sports broadcasting season. Wenatchee Panthers and the Skyline Spartans will do battle. Grant Olson and Brandon Harley will have the call tomorrow night. Looking forward to that. Time for us to fire back up that cool stuff. And the Mariners won 21 games in the month of August. They don't play today. And that is a franchise record for any month at any time. Highlights of their rather dramatic 5-4 victory over Oakland yesterday afternoon when we get to sports. Thursday, pause for pets. Lola the dog needs a home. We'll visit with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And because we are into the football season proper, college gets underway last week. More college games tonight, and then high school. And then, of course, the Seahawks. We thought we'd preview the two big local high schools here in the Wenatchee Valley. Today, we'll get to talk about Eastmont High School. I think they are the prohibitive favorites to win the Columbia Basin Big Nine. Eric had a chance to visit with Coach Michael Don earlier in the week. We'll have that interview with Coach Don and Eric Granstrom today. Tomorrow, Scott Devereaux, head coach of the Wenatchee Panthers, will do the honors. We're getting ready for football. All right. Let's move on to the next element of this program, which is what's going to happen today. I'm sorry? You're not supposed to text during the show, Tucker. I'm sorry. Let's take a look at the slide. Oh, well, I guess we'll do this first. The Wenatchee Heights camera, of course, says, well, okay, here we go. This is the chances of showers today, and whatever we get, it's going to be really light rain. Slight chance, maybe 50% chance of rain here in the Wenatchee Valley. So look at where you live, and this is your chance of rain today. Up in the Cascades, it could get a drop or two, help maybe douse some of the little fires that are burning up there. Whatever rain we get isn't going to be sticking around very much. The weekend, as I mentioned already, looks pretty good, except we cool down quite a bit on Labor Day. So that's your chance of showers today, depending on where you live. Now we can go with our tours around North Central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley with our Heights camera, and it's a PTZ camera. That's an acronym. It's pan, tilt, zoom, and we have the baby zoomed about as far out as it can get. That's a gorgeous view there. Looking good. Love the clouds. I didn't see the blue moon, though, last night. I was, quite frankly, asleep. Camera number 2. That's true, I was unconscious. This is that little bitty fire up burning near the Coles Corner area. That's not Coles Corner camera, but it is about where that little bitty fire is. They're not real concerned about it. If they would be, they'd be fighting it. It's just kind of sitting there, not doing much of anything, caused by the lightning about 3.5 days ago. It's just sitting there. Looks like a big campfire. That's up in the Lake Wenatchee area. Speaking of that area, well, not really. I think Blag Mountain is up next. Is that correct? Blag Mountain, high atop Peshastin. And I think we got that pointed almost due north. I think we have that panned over a little bit more to the left. We'll be able to see Leavenworth. But that's a gorgeous view, way up on top of Blag Mountain. I've been up on that road to that tower site. It's a rather remarkable view. Yes, that's a great view from our PTZ camera, but it doesn't really do it justice. If you go up there with your naked eye, it is a spectacular view high atop Blag Mountain. And finally, back up to the Lake Wenatchee area with a different view of the smoke that's hanging around there. Again, from there's no real big fire. They're not real concerned about any kind of property damage or homes being damaged, but they are keeping an eye on things. That's what they do. But as you can see, it's a bit smoky up in the Lake Wenatchee area. We think that's pointed to the northeast, roughly, right around there. I think Lake Wenatchee would be off to your left when we normally use that camera. So a little hazy up to the north of us in the Lake Wenatchee area. From the National Weather Service, it's going to be cloudy for the most part today. We'll see a few sun breaks, but there is a chance of a raindrop or two. Not much of one. 73 our forecast high. For the record, we hit 76 yesterday. By the way, sunrise this morning, 6:18. Sunset tonight, 7:43. That's 13 hours and 25 minutes of daylight today. We have lost 20 minutes of daylight since last Thursday. So in the course of a week, we've lost 20 minutes of daylight. Slight chance of rain tonight. Don't think it's going to happen. Clouds will still be hanging around. We'll get down to about 57. Here comes some sunshine. Looks good. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Highs will be 83, which is normal, and then above normal on Saturday. Sunday, slightly cooler. Monday, another system rolls in for Labor Day. A slight chance of some light rain. I don't think it's going to happen. Partly sunny skies on Labor Day with a high of 75. Then we go back to work and kind of sort of welcome autumn with some very nice weather. Quite a bit of sunshine. Highs will be in the upper 70s to right around 80 by the time we get to Wednesday. Hard to believe. We're almost done with August. 6 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Bienvenido al Centro de Resolución de Conflictos. Brindamos servicios a los condados de Grant y Adams, ayudando a empresas y personas a resolver problemas difíciles. Ofrecemos ayuda con conflictos de trabajo, problemas residenciales y asuntos familiares. Podemos capacitar a su personal en habilidades de prevención y resolución de conflictos. Llámenos al 509-237-3705 para obtener más información.
Filtered sunshine, 61 degrees here in the big city. We'll be right around 73. Be fairly cloudy for the most part. The sun will be peeking in and out of the clouds, but the clouds are going to have the upper hand, maybe some light rain. Clouds hanging around tonight, quite a bit of sunshine. Good looking weekend for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we hope you have Monday off as well. I know we do. It's 8 minutes after the hour. An 18-year-old Royal City man crashed his vehicle early Tuesday morning. This happened between George and Quincy. Sustained life-threatening injuries in this accident. The Grand County Sheriff's Office says Steven Torres Morales was driving a 2016 Nissan Altima at a very high speed north on Adams Road North when he lost control near the 5800 block. The vehicle left the road, went airborne, landed in a residential yard, crossed over the top of a 75-foot-long irrigation pond, and then struck a tree. Morales was not wearing a seatbelt, was ejected in that last collision with the tree. Deputies say he then dragged himself to the door of the home. The occupants discovered him at about 6 a.m. It's not clear how long he had been between the crash and the time that he was able to get to that residence, and they called 911. Could have been quite some time. Morales was transported by ambulance to Quincy Valley Medical Center. The last that we were told, he was in critical condition. Staying in the basin, a 58-year-old Ephrata woman walking on railroad tracks in Ephrata survived being struck by an eastbound train. This happened Tuesday. Ephrata police say the woman was on the track at about 5:30 in the evening when the train hit her, came to an emergency stop. The incident blocked two major Ephrata railroad crossings for about 2 hours at Division Avenue and 3rd Avenue. The woman was conscious, was able to speak to rescuers when she was taken by ambulance to Columbia Basin Hospital. Police say the circumstances of the accident are under investigation. Of course, it comes 1 week after another female pedestrian was fatally struck on the train tracks in Kashmir. Interesting lawsuit. Douglas County's Superior Court judge has to decide whether to throw out a lawsuit between Douglas County and Mansfield over who's responsible for maintaining one of its roads. Attorneys for the town and the county argued on Monday before Judge Brian Huber, each claiming the other should be obligated to maintain about 1,700 feet of Airport Way on the southeast end of Mansfield. It's, of course, Mansfield's not very big, about 300 people live there. The lawsuit hinges on maps that date to 1915. The county says those maps erroneously put the road outside the town limits. The town of Mansfield says the right-of-way deed designates Douglas County as the owner of the road and claims the county's neglected maintenance has left Airport Way in poor condition. Judge Huber says he plans to rule on whether the case should be heard by a jury in a written memo sometime in the near future. A maintenance project at Tumwater Dam starts next week. It's scheduled to run until mid-December. Beginning next Tuesday, the construction will begin and the viewing area at the Tumwater Dam will close. Chelan PUD says the crews will allow portage around the job site for whitewater rafters. And in mid-October, drivers should expect short delays on Highway 2 through Tumwater Canyon due to flagger-controlled traffic. The project on the dam will repair and reinforce the dam's apron with new concrete. The construction is the second part of a multi-year maintenance plan for Tumwater Dam. The previous work reinforced the entrance of the fishway with concrete back in 2020. The construction of the Lake Chelan Community Center keeps moving forward as the first phase of the building nears completion. It's about 75% complete now. The community center is still raising funds for the second phase. They want to raise about $250,000 before the end of September. Phase 2 of the project will consist of finishing the gym, completing the parking lot and the landscaping, constructing retaining walls, and adding furnishings. The community center's website lists the fundraising at about 12% complete for Phase 2, so they have a ways to go there. If you're interested in donating or keeping up with the project, you can do so by going to chelanCommunity.org. That's the news. At 12 minutes after the hour, Grant and the crew will have the news for you tonight at 5, 6, and 10. If you're interested in what's going on in north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley, we think it's important that our viewers be informed about what's going on. That's why we do the news to begin with on television at 5, 6, and 10. If that doesn't work for you, it's always available for you to watch on the web via our Facebook page, our homepage at ncwlife.com, and on our YouTube page. And don't forget, we stream too. If you go to ncwlife.com and click on the live stream, whatever we're broadcasting right now, you can watch live on the web. And if there's a news tip out there, pick up the phone and give us a call. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Go to our homepage, click on the Contact Us icon, or drop us a note via the Messenger app on Facebook. When we come back, Mariners keep right on winning. They recovered from losing 2 days ago by winning yesterday afternoon against Oakland. Plus, we got high school football to talk about. Sports is right around the corner. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. There's ice on my heat pump and under my heat pump.
Well, ice under your heat pump is normal. When we go into a defrost cycle, it melts the frost off, creates water, which freezes to the ground. Ice around your heat pump is a thing that you should probably give us a call about.
Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
Quarter after the hour, the Mariners set a franchise record with its 21st victory yesterday afternoon. First time in team history, they've won 21 games in a calendar month. J.P. Crawford's 2-run base hit in the bottom of the 7th put the Mariners out in front 5-4. They ended up beating Oakland 5-4. The A's got out to an early 3-0 lead. Then Teoscar Hernandez changed that scenario with one swing in the bottom of the 3rd.
Out to left field, driven sharply over the wall for a home run. Teoscar Hernandez, it's a 3-run blast and a brand new ball game in the 3rd inning.
All of this happening with 2 outs. Exit velo of 110. He has been hitting the ball hard. His 23rd home run of the year. Perfect timing for it.
And that's a fair ball. He hooks it right by Suarez into the left field corner. And the A's take the lead, and Ruiz at second makes the wide turn and stops there with an RBI double. 1-2. Now Ruiz very fast. Shallow right field. Teoscar the catch. Ruiz is coming home. Here's the throw. Play at the plate. In time. Tag applied. He's safe. Cal can't believe it.
That was a great throw, too. Perfect throw.
They will challenge this. Scott with conviction.
A perfect throw. Cal gets the ball in time.
Get him on that tricep before he touches the plate.
That's the question right there. When he touches him, where's his hand at? It's pretty close. He tags him. It's just a matter of how close his hand was to the front edge of the plate.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner is out.
Great throw.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Going after it. Drops into left field for a base hit. This game is tied. Canzone scores. Caballero's coming home. A headlock slide. He is safe. J.P. Crawford. He puts the Mariners in front in the bottom of the 7th.
Watching him throw all those fastballs up there, so he's aggressive right away on a fastball. Inside out swing on the inside corner. Going the other way with it. Picks up a couple of RBIs.
His 0-2.
It was a slider.
Hanging up in left field. Canzone underneath. History has been made at T-Mobile Park. A month to remember. 21 wins in August of 2023. The new high water mark in franchise history.
Yeah, even when the Mariners won 116 games back in 2001, even that team didn't win 21 games. In a calendar month, manager Scott Service quite happy with another series win.
21 wins in a month, and there was a really special team here that won 116 games one year, and they didn't even do that. So really good effort. Today was a well-played game, and I think that a lot of the little things we did really allowed us to win the game. But it starts with Bryce Miller. We were thin in the bullpen today. After they got on Bryce in the 2nd inning, and that's kind of been his inning here lately, they've gotten on him. He settled down and was able to get, I was hoping for 5, he got us through 6, which allowed our bullpen to kind of to lock it down from there. But you get down 3-0 in that game, don't have a lot of momentum. One of the little things that may not show up in the box score, but you take a 2-out walk. What Gino Suarez did there, nobody really notices, not that big a deal at the time, but then Cal hits a double. And you're thinking, okay, we need a hit here to get back in the game, and tail comes through. 3-run homer, we're right back in it. I just think those little things like that. Gino starting to step on third, throw to second, double play. Huge play in the game. You pinch run Cabby. He's got an awesome lead at second base to score easily on the JP single. The little things like that we have done for the last couple months. And that's why we're playing the way we are, and then we get the big hit when we need it. So we missed Julio. Hopefully he'll be back in New York. He felt a little bit better later in the day today, day off tomorrow, and hopefully he can join, get back in the lineup when we get over and play the Mets.
Mariners finished the homestand with a 5-1 record, and now it's 10 games in 10 days. It begins tomorrow night. They'll be in Queens to take on the Mets. It's another game that is only available to watch on Apple Plus TV, which stinks because I don't have that. Seattle and Houston now share the top spot in the American League West after the Mariners and the Astros won and Texas lost. DJ Stewart, the hero for the Mets, he clobbered 2 monster home runs. Then he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 10th. A walk-off hit by pitch. Don't see that too often. 6-5 for the Mets over the Rangers. Houston scored 3 in the 2nd and another 3 in the 3rd. Eventually, they would beat Boston. The final was 7-4. And the Angels scored 5 runs in the final 2 innings to come from behind and beat the Phillies. The final was 10-8. As far as the wild card is concerned, Josh Lowe and Randy Arozarena came through with run-producing base hits in the bottom of the 10th. That broke a scoreless tie, and the Rays beat Miami. The final there's 3-0. The Rays are leading the American League wild card chase by 5.5 games. The Astros, technically just a percentage point behind Seattle, so they are in second in the wild card playoff spot. They're 77-58. That's a game in front of Texas, who's 75-58. Toronto blanked Washington 7-0. That climbs them within 2.5 games of the Rangers for the last playoff spot. The Red Sox 6.5 back, and the Yankees 10 games out following their 6-2 win over the Tigers. Seahawks added 15 players to their practice squad yesterday. They were all part of the roster before the cuts, so now they're back on the practice squad. Rookie quarterback Holton Ahlers, wide receiver Aesop Winston Jr., center Joey Hunt were among the 15 additions. Seattle has one more roster spot open as they pursue the waiver wire. Veteran linebacker Bobby Wagner says cut down day is always a tough day around the headquarters.
It's always a tough day because, like, when you come in the building, the process is different. So you don't know if you're saying what's up to guys or you don't know if you're saying goodbye to guys. And so a lot of guys work so hard for this moment, and you know, in that moment when your dream seems like it's over, it's tough. But you try to offer as much encouraging words, and you know, some guys will come back on the practice squad. Some guys get an opportunity to go play for another team, and you just try to find a way to extend your career as long as you can. And you know, that's kind of my advice to guys.
The big preseason fan favorite was wide receiver Jake Bobo, the undrafted free agent out of UCLA. Caught a couple of touchdown passes. He caught for over 200 yards in passes. And the Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith says he's happy that Mr. Bobo made the squad.
I was so excited for Jake. You know, just seeing, I mean, thinking about back in OTAs and minicamp when he was making all those plays and everyone was like, okay, what is he going to do, you know, when we put the pads on? And, you know, everything we've seen from Bobo is, you know, what he is, man. He's been making plays. He gets separation. He gets open, catches the ball, and he's just been a great player for us. And so I'm excited for him. I know it was a big moment for him, and looking forward to, you know, him growing and getting better.
As the Seahawks get ready to take on the Rams in their season opener, the top draft pick, Jackson Smith-Njigba, can never say that name right, he's back. Of course, he had hand surgery, and Coach Carroll says he's glad that the guy is in camp.
He's doing remarkably well. You know, I know I saw him respond to the injury at the outset, and then I saw him respond to when they told him he's have to get operated on, and so I'm not surprised at the attitude that he's brought post-surgery. And he's out here working, catching balls, catching punts, doing everything, and he ain't worried about it. So it could have gone a number of different ways. It's gone the way of the competitor. Man, he's not going to be denied. He wants to play football.
Seahawks start out with a divisional game taking on the Rams. Season opener is 1 week from Sunday at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:25 on Fox TV, which stinks because I don't have that. The prep football season kicks off tonight here in our area. Cascade does the honors. They will host Natchez Valley in Peshastin, right along the river, at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Cashmere is in Newport. They'll kick it off at 6. It's a long bus ride. The 7 o'clock games tomorrow night have Brewster at Chelan. Quincy hosts East Valley. Tenascus at Omak. Eastmont will visit Meade. Wenatchee will be hosting Skyline. We'll have that for you here on the NCAA Live channel. As far as tomorrow, Antioch has a 3 o'clock kickoff on the road at Welpinit. Soap Lake hosts Wilbur Creston Keller, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. That'll be, when is that? That is tomorrow night at 7. And then on Saturday, you have Odessa visiting Waterville Mansfield at 1 o'clock. Bridgeport plays at Moses Lake Christian Saturday night at 6. And as I mentioned already, we'll preview Eastmont's season. Eric Granstrom, while Coach Michael Don will be airing his full interview in the back half of the program. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this final day of August the 31st. I could have, but did not choose National Trail Mix Day. It's also National Matchmaker Day. Matchmaker, little Fiddler on the Roof action. Today is Eat Outside Day. It's also a friendly reminder for most of human history, humans ate outside. Weather dependent. Okay. Apparently, my good friend, the good Captain Wagner, decided to get a little creative with eating al fresco. So head outside, have a picnic, or that's real good, Tucker. That's very good. I get really scared when Tucker gets creative. I just have a tendency to want to leave the room. Eating outdoors has any number of benefits. For one thing, you eat slower. It's been proven. You have a tendency to eat slower and have more conversation and enjoy a longer leisurely meal when you eat outside. It's also, I think, it makes your food taste better. I do. The weather's not, when I was younger and even into my adulthood, if the weather's nice, what's wrong with eating outside? It's kind of a cool way to do it. Plus you get your vitamin D in as well. So if you get a chance today, weather dependent, it doesn't look too bad. You know, highs in the lower 70s. If the rain holds off, this would be a good day to enjoy your favorite meal, al fresco. That means with all of your clothes off. No, it doesn't mean that. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, this is not supposed to happen. Two planes colliding over Southern California, specifically over Cerritos, California. Aeromexico Flight 498 is struck by a small Piper Cherokee over Cerritos, California. Everybody in both planes died. It says it landed in a neighborhood. 15 people on the ground died. The big plane, the big DC-9, was going down, was descending into Los Angeles International Airport. The small plane, the Piper, was below it. They didn't see each other. The Piper increased its altitude and struck the left horizontal stabilizer of the big plane. It actually cut off the top of the cockpit of the small plane. The pilot and both of the passengers were decapitated. And the Piper, of course, who didn't have his horizontal stabilizer and his vertical stabilizer, it went upside down, immediately entered a dive and slammed into that, a residential neighborhood on Holmes Avenue and Reva Circle in Cerritos, California, crashing into the backyard of a house on Ashworth Place. The DC-9's wreckage scattered all over the place. 4 houses were completely destroyed. 7 others were damaged. When it was all said and done, all 64 passengers and crew on board the DC-9 were killed, the 3 people in the Piper, and 15 people on the ground. Couldn't see each other. They changed a few of the protocols after this happened back in 1986. 36 years ago today, Williamsport Bills of the Eastern League. In minor league baseball, the catcher Dave Bresnahan introduces a new wrinkle to baseball, the hidden potato. There was a runner on third base. He called timeout. He said he has some equipment issues. He went to the dugout, and he came out of the dugout, Dave did, with a shaved potato hidden in his mitt, about the same shape and size as a baseball. On the very next pitch, he throws the potato over the top of the third baseman's head in a pickoff attempt. Obviously, the runner runs for a home, and waiting for him at home plate was Dave, and the real ball that he caught. The umpire was not amused. He ruled the runner safe, gave the catcher an error. He was fined by the front office $50, and then they cut him, and he never played another professional baseball game again. The guy showed initiative. He thought it would just be a do-over, you know, just having some fun, throwing a fake potato over the head to get the runner out. That was on this date 36 years ago today. And 26 years ago today, I remember this, Diana, Princess of Wales, her companion Dode Fayed, and the driver Henri Paul are killed in a car crash in a tunnel in Paris. If you're watching television in Great Britain on the evening of August 31st, 1997, this is what you saw.
Well, I'm worried by the lack of any news or the lack of any statement. I mean, we've got this report about the concussion and about the broken arm and about the cuts to her thigh, but I think it is slightly disturbing that we haven't had some sort of official communique giving the state of her health and giving some indication of what might happen next. I don't think that's a terribly encouraging sign. As I say, superficially, concussion, a broken arm, lacerations of the thigh shouldn't give enormous cause for concern, but one wonders if one is being told the whole truth at the moment.
Stephen, I have to interrupt there because within the last few moments, the Press Association in Britain, citing unnamed British sources, has reported that Diana, Princess of Wales, has died. This is not yet confirmed by any official source. So an unconfirmed source from the Press Association is that Diana, Princess of Wales, has died. And as soon as there is any further news, we will bring it to you.
In the postscript, of course, the original reports, right, they were fleeing from the paparazzi trying to take their pictures when they sped into the tunnel. Further investigations revealed that the driver, Andre Paul, was going very, very fast. He was also probably not sober. He was under the effect of prescription drugs. He had other antidepressants in his system, alcohol in his system. There was no evidence eventually that the paparazzi had anything to do with the crash. It was also revealed that none of the 4 occupants in the automobile were wearing their seatbelts on this date in 1997. It's the bottom of the hour. We have some birthdays for you. To me, the most underrated baseball player of all time, and you know, Stan Musial perhaps, but Frank Robinson was a legend. Born in the state in 1935. We lost him in February of 2019 at the age of 83. Of course, he was the National League MVP with the Reds in 1961. Following the 1965 season, he was traded to the Orioles. They said he was 30, but he was old. What did he do with Baltimore in 1966? He won the American League MVP, he won the Triple Crown, and the Orioles won the World Series. Bad move, Reds. The first black manager, of course, in Major League Baseball history when he took over the helm of the Cleveland Indians in 1975. 14 times an All-Star. His number 20 retired by the Cincinnati Reds, by the Baltimore Orioles, and by the Cleveland Indians. And he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame 41 years ago today, the legendary Frank Robinson. The last surviving member of the Crickets, the legendary Crickets, Buddy Holly's band, Jerry J.I. Allison. He was the drummer and co-wrote a number of songs with Buddy Holly, including the legendary Peggy Sue. Jerry Allison, born in the state in 1939. We lost him last year at the age of 82. Buddy Holly, of course, died in a plane crash in 1959. Nicky Sullivan, the other rhythm guitarist, died in 2004. Joby Maudlin, the bassist, died in 2015. Jerry Allison, also in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And speaking of Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, the first living member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to not bother to show up to get inducted, but Van Morrison is Van Morrison, one of my all-time favorite artists. I got all of his albums, and I think he did one bad one, and even that one still got pretty good songs on it. The legendary Van Morrison. I love you, Van. He's 78 years old today. Still to come, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Mignotti. Eric Grandstrom had a chance to have a nice conversation with the head football coach of the Eastmont Wildcats, Michael Dawn. That's coming up as well. But first things first, Lola the dog needs a home. It's Pause for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Coordinator here. And this beautiful girl is Lola. She is our 8-year-old Husky mix, and we just love her. She's one of our smallest Huskies and our sweetest. She goes to playgroup with all the other dogs, but honestly, she just prefers to be with people. She'll spend the whole time just trying to nuzzle attention from those of us who are up there with her. Lola came to us a few weeks ago as an owner surrender. Her family loved her, but they were welcoming another member into their family, and they just, they wanted her to be able to have a home where she'd get full attention that they weren't able to provide anymore. But the nice benefit of being an owner surrender is we know a lot of her history. So we know that she's amazing with children. They had 5, all under 10, and they said that she was just the sweetest and most gentle and a really great family dog. As you can probably tell, she's very calm, and she loves giving attention, affection, and she just wants to be near you all the time. Yes, you good girl. Yes. And we think that there's a great home out there for her because she's so easy and snuggly. Yes. And she's so pretty. She's a good girl. She's She's house trained, they did tell us that, and she gets along well with other dogs. They did say that she's not so great with cats, but that's kind of a hard thing to find with dogs. She loves belly scratches, and she's just all around a really great, well-balanced dog. She's really quiet too, which is really unusual for a husky. So if you want to come down and give Lola some belly scratches and shakes, she would love to meet you. We are open Thursday through Tuesday, 11 till 6, and also a new thing we are doing is opening up our halls to the public now. We do only allow one group through at a time to keep, to keep the anxiety of the dogs down, but we would love to give you a little tour if you want to come down.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Whether you're just dipping your feet or plunging right in, boating with a Sylvan pontoon boat is the way to go at Bobfile Boats and Motors. Sylvan pontoon boats offer performance, reliability, and stability to take you, your family, and friends to the water in style. Sylvan pontoon boats have a wide variety of styles and layouts to suit your needs. See the full line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bobfile Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
This is Mike, Mad Dog McNally, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I really made a decision as a mental health professional and for someone who provides treatment to domestic abuse perpetrators. I'm going to deal with issues of respectful relationships with the adolescent young men who come to me for counseling. Now, I'm going to do this with each one of them. I ask each one of them, what kind of man do you want to be? Someone who respects women and children, who treats them with care and consideration, or something else? Now, of course, they all say they want to be decent, good men, but honestly, we have to help our young men and boys to fully understand what it means to be a decent and respectful man in this society. Yes, we do. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Experience memories that will last forever on a Sun Chaser pontoon boat from Bobfile Boats and Motors. If you're looking to get out fishing with your buddies or just enjoying time on the water with friends, a Sun Chaser pontoon boat is a great choice. Owning a Sun Chaser is more than just an incredible feeling of freedom and exhilaration. It's about taking that indulgence to the next level. See the full line of Sun Chaser pontoon boats at Bobfile Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Hibis Public Market is on the move to make parking, dining, shopping, and events an even better experience for our community. Check out the progress that has already been made towards the revitalization. The Westside Project is well on its way, but we need your help to get over the finish line. All donations are greatly appreciated and can be made online at our website or in person at the business office. We want to thank those who have already partnered with us. You are helping make the place we love a better place for our community to meet.
Well, it's the NCW Life Channel's preview of the high school football season. We've got Michael Don, the head coach for the Eastmont Wildcats, coming off a season a year ago that I'm sure you had higher aspirations than what came of it. You lost a heartbreaker here at home in the playoffs against Richland. Let's talk first about the offseason. How's it been?
Been a good offseason. Good work out of the kids. We averaged probably over 100 kids a day in the weight room all summer, and our older guys put in work all off season. We have 40, 50 kids that come every morning at 6:30 and work out. Then we have a bunch more who work out through the day and in classes. So we're really excited about where we're at right now. We're a very senior-laden team with a couple juniors sprinkled in, but we got a lot of veterans, a lot of kids with a lot of experience, and I think our kids are excited and ready to get back out on the field.
Well, and by the looks of it, looking at social media on some of the camps and things like that, you've had some individuals that have really shined at some of these camps around the state.
Yeah, a lot of guys have gotten around, traveled around. Luke Gale had a great central camp for us. He ended up being the overall camp MVP there. Just has been throwing the ball really well. Gunnar Peterson's been traveling around. He's got a couple offers to play college football. So does Luke. Connor Frazier has some offers to play college football. Adrian Ruffins will get some. He was battling some stuff over the summer as far as back injury, so he didn't get to go to many camps. But he'll be a college football player, and we're just really excited about this group of kids. They got some high-end talent with some kids that just worked hard too.
I know you lost a couple of key cogs on the defensive line from last season. It always starts up front for you guys. Talk about that crew and how you're looking. I know a couple of years ago we were talking about how you had so many young guys that were getting playing time, and now they're seniors, and that's probably benefiting you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We returned three of our 4 defensive linemen up front. Really good group, really athletic. Probably the strongest defensive line we've ever had. We've got a really good group of old linemen who's just kind of gelling, a mix of juniors and seniors. Damian, returning starter, Ernie, returning starter, Monty, returning starter for us on the O-line. So, we got a mix of veterans trying to find a couple guys who will step in, but we feel like we got good depth there, but we're really excited about what we're capable up front.
I know you've been working hard at creating this culture of the kids buying in and parents buying in, the community buying in. Sounds like that's happening. Did you have to work hard on this offseason, or was it more the seniors putting the pressure on everybody else?
You always work, but best teams are always player run, and I've tried to step back from always being the hammer and being the one who's getting after kids and finding them. So, this offseason I put a lot more pressure on our captains where I'd say, hey, I'm not seeing this kid, you guys got to find him, or this kid's not doing this, you guys got to take care of it. And so our guys have done a much better job of taking ownership of the program themselves and holding everybody else accountable.
Well, last year you played the same 2 teams. You're playing the first 2 games this year. You lost by a point to each of them. As you look at this, the first 2 weeks, and suddenly it becomes a gauntlet where you're on the road, it sounds like, for those 2 weeks. Talk about the matchup with Meade and with Timberline right out of the gate.
2 really athletic programs. Meade, they lost a lot of senior starters last year, but they had a really good JV, really good freshman team, so they got some talent coming. Really good community that's really into sports, and they got some kids who can play. And then Timberline, they were pretty young last year, similar to us, and they got some guys who can fly around. They got some really good athletes, so we expect to have a couple good battles to start off the year.
You got Wenatchee in week 3, same as last year with the Bridge of Sportsmanship. You guys have owned that for a long time now. I know you don't look ahead, but, that's your first Big 9 matchup.
Yeah, always the goal, win that one, but, we'll get there when we get there. I expect Wenatchee to be much improved this year. They had a pretty young defense especially. I think they're going to fly around and do some good things there. They have some good-looking kids, and I think they'll be real solid and a lot better than last year. So, we got to make sure we're ready to go when we get to that one.
So let's talk about the rest of the Big 9. Who are you expecting to be those teams to challenge you?
I think the top 3 pretty much stay pretty similar, Sunnyside and Moses Lake. Moses Lake is just Brett's done a phenomenal job over there with that group, and he's got a lot of buy-in right now. His son's going to be the signal caller, and he got better last year as a freshman as the year went on, and I think they're going to be pretty explosive offensively. They return all their skill kids, and I think they're going to be really good. And Sunnyside just is always that team that's just Their kids play hard, they're scrappy, and they're always in the mix at the end of the year, top of the Big Nine.
Moses Lake probably rivals you guys for speed. I mean, you got a lot of team speed, but that's going to be fun to watch, that track meet.
Very well could be a track meet. They got some guys who can fly. We got some guys who could fly. Should be a fun one. Last year was a pretty explosive game too, so I expect to see something similar.
We saw the progression for Luke those first couple of games out of the box, kind of struggled a little bit, but he got better and better as the season went on, and you talked about his summer. How do you balance that when you got so much speed in the backfield? I know you guys like to run the football and control it, but when you got a gun like that back there, how do you balance that?
You know, we got a couple wings who could probably play receiver too, you know, and a lot of people ask, you know, why don't you go spread? You got kids who can go spread. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, we probably could spread with the group we have as seniors right now, but you know, now you're looking to start back over every year, and we're just trying to adapt what we do to the kids we have. So, you know, you're going to see Peyton Guest stretching the field vertically, Landon Moore stretching the field vertically at wing, and those guys just add another dimension to our passing game off the play action. And you know, Adrian Ruffins is back. He looks the part. He flies. He's big body. And then Jace Travato has had an unreal offseason. He was uncoverable at camp. He just tore it up. And you know, Jackson West has always been Mr. Reliable for us out there. He catches everything. And you know, we expect those guys to have a big year.
We just had the team having some fun behind us. That seems to be a constant for you guys. I mean, yeah, there's work to be done, but you like the kids also to have some fun.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things is, you know, we want to hold kids accountable. We hold our kids to a pretty high standard, but it is a game, it is fun, and we try really hard to allow them to still have their personalities. I'm not going to run it militaristically. There's nothing wrong with that style of program. It just doesn't fit my personality. I want our kids to have a personality, have fun, goof around a little bit. It's time to work. It's time to work. But, you know, when it's not, play, have fun, and enjoy the moments.
I know you like to have the team kind of be in charge and lead things, so you've got a big senior class. What kind of goals have they set?
You know, I think this year we want to win another Big Nine title. That's always the goal, is to get to that point, get in the playoffs, and then we want to win a playoff game. You know, we've been in the mix. We get to the playoffs. You know, I think we've had a couple rough draws where we got out physicaled, outmatched in a couple rounds, and you know, I think this year physically, I think we'll match up better with a lot of teams. I thought last year physically we could have matched up with some teams. We just, you know, struggled a little bit with some little things. Being in a gym for 7 weeks was not easy on the tackling.
By the time this airs, you're going to be a new dad. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how does that, you know, you're thinking about that balance of being dad and being coach and being teacher and all that stuff?
Thank goodness I usually don't take a lot of days off, so I got a lot of sick days saved up. So I'll be taking Fridays off through the season from school to be at home with my wife, and then I'll be taking some mornings off early right after we have our little girl, and to be home and help her out. And I'm lucky I got a student teacher this fall who happens to be one of our football coaches, so that makes it really easy. He's already been involved in the weight room. He knows what we do. He knows the kids, so the kids will kind of take that and run with it, and that'll be a seamless transition for us.
Okay, I got to ask you, since you knew a girl beforehand, then did you have the whole gender reveal thing?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
And how did that go?
You know, I knew it was coming. My mom had all boys, and so my brothers have had girls so far, and I just kind of assumed it was in the cards. So, little girl it is.
Exploding pink balloon, or what was the reveal?
A little cannon thing. Scared the heck out of our dogs. Dogs took off running. They didn't like it.
All right, Coach. Well, have a great season. Keep everybody healthy.
Thank you very much.
All right, there you go. Michael Don joining us here as we preview the upcoming season here on the NCW Life Channel, and we'll have East Mont football quite a bit right here on the NCW Life Channel.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
At Collins Fashions, personal service is our trademark. Our stylists love to assist our customers with great fashion choices like Tommy Bahama, Karen Kane, Tribal, Nick and Zoe, Habitat, Liverpool, Brighton handbags and jewelry, and many more. Whether you're going on a great vacation, hitting the beach at Lake Chelan, or the mother of the bride and groom, we want you to love what you wear. Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, your personal shoppers.
We liked it so much, we're just going to keep playing our transition bumper right to the end of the show. It's 52 minutes after the hour. Temperature hasn't moved much at all since the show began an hour ago. It's still 61 degrees. Cold spot right now is Manson. Manson's only 51, feeling a bit autumnal to the north of us. The warm spot right now isn't very warm. It's Quincy at 62 degrees. We'll take one more look at that all-important forecast, including right through Labor Day weekend, the unofficial ending of summer. Of course, the summer, the equinox, the autumnal. Yeah, happy birthday once again to Van Morrison. And we'll do the forecast. You want to do the forecast now, Captain, or do you want to do the cameras? In case you haven't noticed, folks, the usual producer of this show, Uriah, is on vacation. We love Tucker, though. We love him. There's your chance of rain today, and it ain't much. So pick out where you live, and that's a possibility of rain today. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, we have about a 50% chance of rain. Out in the Columbia Basin, anywhere from a 35 to 50% chance of rain. Up in the Cascades is your best chance of precipitation. And there's a couple of little wildfires, nothing too big. They're not too concerned about it, but certainly a little light rain on the fires around the Lake Wenatchee area would be a good thing. About a 40 to 60% chance there. Up in northeast Washington, about a 30 to 50% chance. Omak, Okanagan, you could still get a little bit of rain up there. So it's a slight chance. It's just a very weak low pressure system that's brushing up against the region, which is why we're going to have some clouds and a chance of light rain, but the weekend forecast looks good. Do we have a moment for going around the valley again, good Captain? There we go. There is the Wenatchee Heights camera. Again, you can't miss the fact that these days are getting shorter. We've lost 20 minutes of daylight. Since last Thursday, we got 13 hours and 25 minutes of daylight. This is the time of the year where we lose about 2 minutes of daylight a day right up until the autumnal equinox. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. You can see the sun is bathing the Sunny Slope and Birch Mountain area from that view. Let's see if we switched up the cameras. Nope, we're going to go right back to the camera. That's a little fire up in the Coles Corner area near Lake Wenatchee. It's basically above the small town of Winton. They're not real concerned about it. If they were, they'd be out there fighting it. This was caused by a lightning strike about 3 days ago, and it really hasn't done anything. It's kind of just sitting there and smoldering. I mean, obviously they're keeping an eye on it, but the fire authorities aren't real concerned about that little puff up of smoke. Again, off Highway 2 near the Winton area, but it's not a significant concern. Let's see what else we have for our cameras. We have, Blag Mountain, high above beautiful Peshastin, and I'm pretty sure that we got that pointed almost to the north, almost exactly due north. I think maybe there's a little slice of Leavenworth on the left-hand side of your screen. That camera is up there a ways. That's about 4,700 feet above sea level on top of Blag Mountain. It's a long drive, but it's a pretty drive. And finally, we wrap up our tour around north central Washington with another, it's gotten quite a bit smokier up there. This is the Nanapoc Ridge camera that we normally use to show you Lake Wenatchee. Lake Wenatchee, as you look at that, to orient yourself, Lake Wenatchee would be to the left of you. It's not on camera. But that's basically the Fish Lake drainage area, and it looks like there is, of course, quite a bit of smoke there. They have a fire way up the White River drainage, and of course that little fire that we just showed you, and a couple of little little fires that aren't really causing a great deal of discomfort or concern, but it certainly made the Lake Wenatchee area quite smoky. Maybe a little bit of rain and a little bit of breeze would help that out, but that's it looks pretty hazy up in the Lake Wenatchee area. I don't know what the air quality is up there. Maybe I should have looked that up. In any event, that's a quick look around north central Washington with our cameras. And what we'll do is we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and we'll do the weather forecast in just a couple minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise. Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set. These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
While we were on break, I did two things. I looked up the AQI index for the Lake Wenatchee area because it looked like it was a bit smokier than it was an hour ago. They don't have an air quality monitor up there. The closest one is in Leavenworth, and according to them, it's moderate, and Leavenworth is almost in the good category, so there's that. And I also had a chance to look up exactly when the autumnal equinox is, when we say goodbye to summer and welcome autumn, and it is Friday, September 22nd at 11:49 in the evening. That is the official beginning of fall, so we still have 22 and a half days to go of summertime, but it's going to feel somewhat autumnal here in the Wenatchee Valley. Again, slight chance of showers today. Clouds for the most part. We'll see some breaks, but clouds will have the upper hand. We'll top off at about 73 and about a 50% chance of precipitation. And I think as farther into this day we go, the less and less chance of rain we're going to get. Whatever rain we do get ain't going to be very much. Chance of rain tonight goes down to 30%, but the clouds are going to be hanging around, 57 for the overnight low. Drier weather expected on Friday and right into the weekend. In fact, we'll warm up to around 83, which is normal for this time of the year. 60 for the overnight low on Friday night. Going to be a very pleasant night to broadcast some high school football from Leap-Off Field at the Apple Bowl. Saturday, sunshine, just about 90 for the high. Who knows when we're going to see 90 again? May be a while, because we're going to cool down on Sunday, only 83 with quite a bit of sunshine. And then another weather system Sunday night into Monday brings us cooler temperatures under partly sunny skies on Labor Day proper and a high of 75. And then as we go back to work on Tuesday and Wednesday, a slight warming trend, but temperatures still hovering slightly below normal. Quick programming reminder, don't forget we will begin our fall sports programming with Wenatchee High School football. Tomorrow night with Grant Olson and Brandon Harley on the call. We'll be at Leap-Off Field at the Apple Bowl tomorrow at 6:30. Have a great Thursday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Welcome to our Nordic expedition. Get ready for royal castles, colorful streets, and awesome adventures. That's me, Elizabeth, and today I'm exploring Sweden and Denmark with my friend Jennifer Deal. We'll visit Copenhagen's Royal City Center.
Hey Jen, isn't that where the Supreme Court and the House of Parliament is?
And take a cruise for an amazing view.
That is Copenhagen's Opera House.
Oh wow, it's so modern.
And then we're off to see the gardens and catch the Royal Guard.
Lizzie, this place is amazing. Where are we again?
Before we journey to Stockholm, Sweden for some amazing adventures.
Wow, it's beautiful. So many colors.
The Nordic countries are so much fun, we don't want to miss a minute. So let's go. Welcome to